us working together and I think really challenging my mind. It's not like we're just in there shooting shots. Like it's as game-like as we can make it, and I think that was something that I was really looking for. Obviously, coming off of injury, it's really difficult to get those type of reps and things like that. So that was really good for myself. And then obviously, what he's been able to do with Steph, like
We're going to talk about the Indiana Fever more specifically. Now, all three of these entities have responded to the allegation. Erica Wheeler, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin. Recently, Caitlin Clark posted something that will definitely get you to ponder. She stated, "I don't think anyone in our league should be facing any sort of racism." However, there is more to this tale, and the way she and Kelsey Mitchell are managing the circumstances intriguing. I would want to request a tiny favor. Before we proceed, please take a time to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you find it entertaining. Although more than 98% of you watch for free, it has a significant impact on us. I really appreciate it. Now, let's back to the video. You won't believe what's going on in the WNBA at the moment. Racism among fans is being called out. Indeed, Alyssa Thomas is accusing certain Indiana Fever supporters of using racial insults and being horrible bigots. Although it's a severe claim, the lack of video evidence is an issue. People are therefore forced to question whether it truly occurred. Everyone is trying to piece together the truth. It's like a mystery. The allegations made by WNBA players that Indiana Fever fans are vicious racist. Now, all three of these entities have responded to the allegation. They're just launching racial slurs all over. This is when things start to get interesting. Even more outrageous, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark aren't keeping quiet. They're speaking up, and what they have to say is completely unexpected. You'll want to hear this, I promise. Actually recorded or anything anywhere. And yes, getting booed at an away stadium or an away arena is something that happens in sports. People happen to have us cell phones with audio devices. Clark and Mitchell recently disclosed some startling information. So pay attention. They're not simply dealing with the problem. They're offering a completely new perspective, and I can guarantee that no one expected this. Is that the norm? Is that enough for now multiple players to just be calling a fan base, just label them? Seems like that could happen too, but I guess not. I guess that's not possible. Yeah, it's definite. She answered a question about all of the online discourse and trolls, but there are a lot of really good fans, whether they've been fans for 20 plus years, or whether they're new fans, or whether they're really, those aren't fans, those are trolls. And it's a real disservice to the people in our league, the organization. I think continuing to up seems to be reminding everyone of our shared passion for the game. Clark isn't the only one speaking up, though. So many great players, there's so many great teams. There are so many positive storylines that can be written and celebrated, and I was just even looking to see what the double big WNBA people, these legacy fans that, hate all the new fans. I genuinely think that there's going to be some responses being like, oh, she's trying to deflect the topic off the real thing. She's trying to focus on basketball, and this is bigger than basketball. For me, that's why I became a fan of this league, is these people were my idols. I grew up wanting. Now, let's add Erica Wheeler and Kelsey Mitchell, and wow, their responses are excellent, thoughtful, and professional. Because of this response, people are currently pursuing them. Erica Wheeler and Kelsey Mitchell are also taking part, demonstrating what real professionalism looks like. Mitchell makes it very obvious that we only have control over what happens with our employees and within our company, and we don't condone such behavior. For us, it seems like they are creating a line in the sand that says, this is who we are and this is what we stand for. However, Mitchell isn't allowing this drama to distract her team. Rather, she has a laser-like focus on the important things. Winning games is what matters, she said. That's a great example of teamwork. And after the break, it got better. So, she is very graphic with us. I think that for us, we really don't know how to talk professionalism in a lot of different ways, and we only control our organization within our people. I mean, we can't control what someone else says. Furthermore, no matter what color you are or whatever you carry or possess, I think for us, we focus. What's really amazing, if you're asking, is how Clark is handling all of this media attention. She's not just a novice bumbling through interviews. Rather, she's taking on these challenging topics head-on while constantly redirecting emphasis on what matters most. It's similar to observing an experienced professional at work. I think. Let's talk about all the news she is about the most media-savvy sports entity I have seen. Of these two are teaching everyone how to deal with problems like pros, not simply talking the talk. However, you know what? That's not even the most bizarre aspect. Clark's ability to see the larger picture is quite remarkable. She is thinking about the league as a whole, not just herself or her team. She said, "I think continuing to uplift this league in a very positive light is the best thing we can do. NBA players have endured this season." This was her answer. He should have asked her about the hate that she receives as a straight white player in the league. She can navigate these situations. Now, James Boyd did acknowledge after the fact there's so many great players and teams, and obviously that is the best thing. This is she basically said, "Do you recall that I mentioned there was more to this tale?" On the court, Clark and Mitchell are creating something very unique. The stats will astound you, and they're not just playing the game. They're redefining it. Together, these two formidable teams score 37.7 points every game on average. Isn't that impressive? However, after the Olympic break, it's cash in the bank. The fact that poetry in action. They are reviving basketball's excitement there. On the court, they have a unique chemistry. Imagine that Clark is 3/4 of the court away from the basket with the ball. She lofts a pass that lands squarely in Mitchell's palms. Mitchell isn't finished, though. In a game against the Dallas Wings, she successfully evil in the league, wouldn't you? Prepare for a surprise then. Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark aren't dismissing the controversy. For their performance, they're using it like rocket fuel. They are laser-focused on the important things, giving it their all and supporting their team. They appear to be wearing blinkers, but in the greatest way imaginable. They are unaffected by all the talk about fan behavior. Rather, they are using all of that energy to improve as players. Mitchell is standing at her side, setting an example. She doesn't waste time on uncontrollable stuff. Rather, she is concentrating on what is truly important, winning games with this group. By reminding everyone that it's about cooperation, perseverance, and seizing every chance there. Establishing a strong tone. Their commitment to the game and to one another is incredibly motivating. Fan support for them is therefore not surprising. Clark is discussing more than simply the advantages. The thing about coming out and saying this entire narrative you're hearing is joke. The organization and us winning games, and that's what we did. But for the most part, we don't condone that. Like I said a comment before, like it's a lot of things that try to come in this building. And to build up the part that we just didn't let. However, and they were real professional, and guess what? They're getting just destroyed over. That's the kind of concentration that turns common players into legendary ones. This is where things start to become very interesting, though. In addition to being excellent basketball players, Clark and Mitchell are revolutionizing the discourse surrounding. They are rising above the drama rather than being entangled in it. They're trying to improve the league for everyone, stressing unity and concentrating on the positive aspects. Furthermore, their actions on the court support everything they say. So it's not just talk, difficult questions, or providing prefabricated answers. She is taking on these challenges head-on while consistently focusing on what matters most: the game, the team, and the league. That's true character, not just excellent publicity. Some of my teammates are unbelievable people. I'll put Erica Wheeler on that, like if you're asking the organization and us winning games, and that's what we did. But for the most part, we don't condone that. So for us, our ears have been blocked out longer than most people, if that makes any sense. So, person of the year in the WNBA, not my freaking, it's seeing two young stars not only succeed on the court, but also promote the values that will improve the WNBA and women's sports in general is encouraging. Mitchell is standing by her side, exemplifying what it takes to be a real team player. She's not only trying to protect herself as a rookie, she is that Clark feels secure both physically and mentally. Here's the actual deal, though. Mitchell and Clark aren't just playing for their squad or for themselves. They are considering the league as a whole. She still just got hate, but at least now they can't. It's going to be hard to see that hate and twist their words. And one thing is she's done nothing but try to uplift the league, defend everyone around her. But she has defended people cheap-shotting her. She's sometimes in the kind of crazy situation. She has defended someone who realistically two sportsmen who are redefining what it means to be a professional, are being watched by fans. Mitchell and Clark are proving that you can be both excellent role models off the court and strong competitors on it. They exemplify the essence of a sport, demonstrating that greatness in sports.